Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Dear viewers, I hope you are safe and sound and must be aware of the current affairs of our country. Today's video is an analysis of military power of both the countries and also an analysis of the situation in case it leads towards an atomic war. India and Pakistan have fought three wars in the past. The 1971 war resulted in the loss of a portion of Pakistan and the creation of Bangladesh. A limited war was also fought in Kargil in 1999, which for the first time raised the possibility of a nuclear war between the two neighboring countries. According to Global Firepower, a website that monitors weapons and military power in the world, India is ranked 12th among the 145 countries on the list in 2025, after the United States, Russia, and China. According to Global Firepower, Pakistan is ranked 12th out of 145 countries on the list. This list is compiled based on 55 different factors, including geography, economics, local industry, natural resources, performance, and the country's relationship with first, second, and third world countries. There is a clear difference in the defense budgets of India and Pakistan. It should be remembered that in the year 2024, India spent 9 times more money on defense than Pakistan. India plans to spend about $86 billion on its defense by 2025, while Pakistan has allocated more than $10 billion for its armed forces for the fiscal year 2024 to 2025. According to Global Firepower, India has 2.2 million ground troops, 310,000 Air Force personnel, and 142,000 Navy personnel. In comparison, Pakistan has 1.319 million ground troops, 1.5 million Navy personnel, and 78,000 Air Force personnel. The Indian Air Force is the world's fourth largest air force, with a clear numerical advantage over Pakistan. The Indian Air Force has 31 squadrons of aircraft. Each squadron has 17 or 18 fighter jets compared to 11 squadrons for its rival Pakistan Air Force. According to Global Firepower data, India has 2,229 aircraft while Pakistan has 1,399. Out of these, if we talk about fighter aircrafts, India has 643 fighter aircrafts compared to Pakistan's 418 aircrafts. The most effective weapons of the Pakistani Air Force are two aircrafts, including the F-16 acquired from the US and the JF-17 Thunder developed with Chinese assistance. The aim of developing the JF-17 was to create an aircraft that is light, can operate as a fighter aircraft in all weather conditions, day and night. This aircraft was built in collaboration with the Pakistan Aeronautical Complex based in Kamra and China's Chengdu aircraft industry. While on the other hand, the recent addition to the Indian Air Force is the inclusion of French-made Rafale aircraft in the air fleet. The Rafale aircraft, which is capable of being equipped with nuclear weapons, can launch missiles up to 150 kilometers in the air, while its air-to-ground strike capability is up to 300 kilometers. India has 311 operational airfields, while Pakistan has 116. Talking about tanks, according to Global Firepower data, Pakistan has 2,672 and India has more than 1.5 times that. That is 4,201 tanks. Al-Khalid tank is the modern tank of the Pakistani army, which is being built in Pakistan with the help of China and Ukraine. In comparison, India has Arjun Mk-1A and Mk-2 tanks. Mk-2 is the modern model of Arjun 1. This tank has a 1400 horsepower engine and can run at a speed of 70 kilometers per hour. As far as naval power is concerned, India has an advantage over Pakistan in the form of fleets. India has 2 aircraft carriers. Out of these, Vikrant is the ship that India has developed itself and was handed over to the Navy in 2022. On the contrary, Pakistan does not have any aircraft carriers. According to Global Firepower, the Indian Navy has a total of 293 naval assets. In addition, the Indian Navy has 18 submarines, 3 of which are nuclear powered. Pakistan has 8 submarines but is now acquiring 8 more with the help of China. Pakistan's naval assets are 121, including 3 mine-laying ships. Pakistan's missile program includes cruise and battlefield tactical ballistic missiles, as well as short and medium-range ballistic missiles. The ballistic missiles include the Hataf series, Hataf 1 and Nasr missiles, which have a range of 60 to 100 kilometers. Then comes the short-range missiles, which include the Abdali with a range of 200 kilometers, the Ghaznavi with a range of 300 kilometers, the Raad with a range of 315 kilometers, Babur with a range of 700 kilometers, and the Shaheen 1 missile with a range of 750 to 1000 kilometers, the Ababil and Shaheen 2 and the Shaheen 3. Of these, the Gauri 1 has a range of 1500 kilometers, while the Gauri 2 can hit targets at a distance of more than 2000 kilometers, while the Ababil missile has a range of 2200 kilometers. The Shaheen 2 and 3 are Pakistan's longest range missiles with a range of 2500 to 2750 kilometers. Ababil and Shaheen 3 are multiple re-entry vehicles designed to defeat and neutralize enemy ballistic missile defense shields. Experts believe that these are the most capable missile systems in Pakistan's missile arsenal. Ababil is the first missile in South Asia and can carry multiple warheads or nuclear weapons up to a range of 2200 kilometers and can hit multiple targets. In comparison, India's missile program ranges from the Prithvi missiles with a range of 250 to 600 kilometers to the Agni series missile with a range of 1200 to 8000 kilometers, as well as the Nirbhaya and BrahMos series cruise missiles. Agni is an intercontinental ballistic missile, including the Agni 5, and has a range of 7000 to 8000 kilometers. In addition, both India and Pakistan are increasing the number of military drones in their arsenals. Both have not only purchased several foreign drones, but have also developed their own technology that is capable of monitoring, spying on the enemy, or targeting targets without a pilot. Drones used for military purposes are skilled in flying at very high altitudes for long periods of time and effectively monitoring military activities, their deployments, important installations, new constructions, and military bases on the ground without coming under radar and in destroying specific targets. In the event of a nuclear war between Pakistan and India, both countries would face devastating losses. However, considering the excess human population and geography, it is clear that as a large country with a large population, India may face more extensive losses in terms of human lives and infrastructure destruction. Big cities like Mumbai, Delhi, and others could be potential targets. This story of self-destruction and devastation will not be able to end till the end of the world. Many forget it, and India will be wiped off the face of the earth by destroying someone. India, keeping up its tradition, has opened up its own media houses to sell like milk and curd, and the war is to be fought in the media houses. It has forgotten that in this war, its military installations, command centers, and strategic locations will be potential targets. India also knows very well how its Abhinandans and Kulbhushans will counter the battle-hardened Pakistan army. The destruction of its vital infrastructure such as power plants, transportation hubs, and communication networks will have long-term devastating effects on it. Most of the casualties will be civilians, including women, children, and the elderly are among the dead. The medical infrastructure will be crippled, leading to a significant shortage of medical supplies, personnel, and facilities. Millions of people will be displaced, leading to a major humanitarian crisis. the war will have a significant impact on the global economy. If this war were to escalate into a nuclear war, the nuclear catastrophe would have long term environmental consequences, affecting not only the region but also the global ecosystem. In a nuclear war, both India and Pakistan would face unprecedented devastation, and the humanitarian crisis would be enormous. A nuclear war between Pakistan and India would be devastating for the entire world. A nuclear war would result in immediate and massive casualties, with millions killed or injured in the initial explosions. The global economy is likely to collapse due to the loss of trade, infrastructure, and human capital. The war would disrupt global supply chains, leading to widespread shortages and economic instability. Nuclear radiation would contaminate the environment, leading to long term health effects and environmental damage. Radiation could also affect global climate patterns, leading to crop failures and food shortages. This would lead to widespread famine and food insecurity. War would result in mass displacement, social unrest, and potential global instability. We all pray and hope that we don't lie these situations in a massive massacre. Stay blessed and take care. Allah Hafiz.